So I was at the gym yesterday and started talking to this dude who I knew from a previous gym where I used to work. He goes to the gym that I go to now, and I try to talk about the Lord as much as I can. Scripture says, "Redeem the time, for the days are evil." So that's what I try to do. And he had talked about getting married. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, so what church are you gonna do it at? He was kind of telling me, and I was like, oh, well, how's that going? Like, and just try to open up dialogue about Jesus. And he had said, he's like, I ain't been going as much as I should. And he's like, and I feel like I don't hardly ever go anymore. And he's just kind of talking about, he's like, but my parents asked me, my dad is always harping on me, you spending time with Jesus? Are you going to church? Are you reading like you should? And he's just looking at me, and you could tell he was like convicted, not by me, just by his dad and how the way that he was feeling about his relationship with the Lord. And so he's like, he just started looking like guilty and like sad. And he's like, honestly, I've been beating myself up because he's like, no matter how tired I am from work, and I work 10-hour days, I always make time for the gym, and I'm always here, and I'm always dedicated, and I make sure I do that. But yet it's hard for me to find time for Jesus, and it's hard for me to go to church. And you could just tell he was just feeling bad. And I tried to encourage him, and as best as I could, try to encourage him and like, hey, keep the main thing the main thing. I love working out too. I love fitness. That's what I do. It's what I love. But ultimately, my relationship with the Lord is much, much, much more important, and that's number one. Number one is my relationship with Jesus, and then beyond that is my family, my wife and my kids. My wife, my 3 kids. Scripture says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your might, your soul, your strength, the whole 9. That means everything. And so Jesus should always be priority number 1. So, after talking to him, I wanted to encourage everybody out there, don't forget your first love. And I'm not doing this to debate, and I'm not, in future videos, whatever, I don't do Twitter wars or comment wars or just bash people for the sake of bashing people. Jesus is, the way, the truth, and the life. And fact is, we would not be alive, we would not be on this earth without him and what he did. So if that doesn't make him number 1 in your heart, I don't know what does. The giver of life, the reason you're here, if he ain't number 1, and he has every good reason to be number 1, I don't know what to tell you. But I want to encourage you, keep the main thing the main thing. As much as you might love something, hobbies, whatever, your kids, you can't put them above the Lord. I love my kids dearly. I would lay down my life for my kids as well as my wife. Absolutely. But first and foremost, my love for Jesus comes first. Because if I ain't rooted in Jesus, if I don't have a good foundation in Jesus, I can't have a good foundation in my family and be the man of God and the leader and the provider and all that I'm supposed to be. So I don't know if this encourages anybody today, but keep your eyes on Jesus, especially in this dark, dark world. If you did not know, it's getting darker, it's getting more evil every single day. So I don't know who this might help, who this might touch, but stay encouraged. God bless you.